What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. And today we got another react. We got satisfying restock. Basically, we're listening to TikTok story time compilation. This is an hour and 1 minute. I mean, can I watch the full thing? It depends on if it's interesting, and if it's not, you know what I'm saying. I'm a switch over. But if you guys enjoy videos like these, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Um, I have gaming. I don't have a gaming channel anymore because I've been put the gaming in here. I have a Twitch. Go follow my Twitch. And yeah, that'll be all today. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Oh my days, it's me.
Okay, so boom. Story time on how my husband slept with my daughter. Okay.
We just started. We just started. Why are we starting like this? Why are we starting like this? What? Yes.
So boom, let's get right into it. So I'm 38 and I'm married to my husband who is 40. I have a daughter who's 16,
40.
But it was from a previous marriage and not my current husband. We currently don't have any kids together. Well, I like to say my relationship with my daughter is healthy, but she's very spoiled. I try to set boundaries and work ethic into my daughter, but my husband always gets in the way of that and ends up making me do whatever my daughter says. At first, I thought it was just my husband really stepping into that stepfather role, but then it became weird. My husband and daughter would plan things without me and be gone for long periods of time. My daughter started being really mean to me and tells me how I'm old and she's young and full of life. My husband would never defend me when I would tell my daughter that's wrong for her to say. After all the sneaking and weird behavior, I decided to...
Yeah, if your husband is not defending you, GG's, pack it up. It's pack it up, bro. What do you mean? The first thing you should do is pull out the belt, cause who are you talking to? We gotta make sure things are straight, cause like, who are you talking to like that? Like, bro, yeah, no. It's because, like, come on. Like, we gotta lock in, bro. Come on.
Set my husband and daughter up. I promise you, what I found out was the last thing I could have ever imagined. Like part 2 on how my husband slept with my daughter. Okay, so boom, like
Crazy
I said,
title.
after all the sneaking and weird behavior, I decided to set my husband and daughter up to see exactly what's going on. I placed cameras in my room and my daughter's room, plus the kitchen and living room. I told my husband and daughter that I'll be going to visit my mom for 3 days, who lived an hour away. And of course, they both declined to go with me. Y'all, I kid you not. Barely even an hour after I left, there it was in my living room camera. My husband and daughter watching a movie making out. Then my daughter hops on...
What am I listening to? OMG, it's your tortilla blanket. Yeah, it is. It's so yummy, isn't it? What am I listening to right now? Like, what?
on the top, and they removed clothing. And I think you can see where it went from there. I was in so much shock and anger. I was crying, man. My emotions were all over the place. I called my ex-husband, the father of my daughter, and he came under 10 minutes. We both barged into the house where my current husband and daughter were still engaging in crazy activity. And it got crazy after this. Like for part 3 on how my husband slept with my daughter. Okay, so boom, like I said, we both barged into the house where my current husband and daughter were still engaging in crazy activities. My ex-husband took our daughter and started beating her with a belt. Then he screamed at her to go upstairs and put some clothes on, which she did. And then there was my current husband, crying, curled up on the floor, completely undressed, might I add, begging my ex-husband not to hurt him or call the cops. He had the audacity to tell us that our daughter was the one who came on to him. Yes, my daughter was the one on camera who initiated everything. That was clear as day. But you as an adult who is married should know better than to partake in anything with a minor, let alone your wife's child. I got a divorce immediately, but unfortunately my husband faced no jail time. And since my daughter wanted to be grown and follow him and tell me she hates me, and that's why I can't keep a husband, both me and her father disowned her. She can go be grown on her own. Karma came pretty quick because he ended up passing away from an illness, and he cheated and had a baby with another woman while with my daughter, who also had a kid by him. It was just embarrassing and messy. My daughter begged for my forgiveness, but I just couldn't do it. She's okay with her dad now, but my daughter having a kid and my grandchild with my ex-husband is just something I currently can't get past. What do you think? Am I wrong for that?
No,
Should I give my daughter a second chance?
No,
Comment.
you literally don't have to do that, but like... Okay.
Below. Story time on how a man followed me into my apartment and tried to harm me. Okay, so boom. I'm 19 years old and I've been living alone for the past year. It's just me and my pet dog, and every morning and night I walk my dog. A bad habit that I have is that since I live in a safe neighborhood, every time I go downstairs to walk my dog, I leave my door unlocked. I never thought that anyone was even watching me, to be honest. My thought process was like, since the door is closed, no one's gonna actually think it's unlocked. But that wasn't very smart of me. One very scary night, my life changed. It was around 10 o'clock at night, and I did my usual routine and started walking my dog. I left my door unlocked and thought nothing of it, especially since around this time, no one is really outside.
First of all, yo, even if you live in a safe neighborhood, lock your doors. Lock your doors. It could be the safest neighborhood of all time, bro. You could have nobody in the neighborhood. Still lock your doors. You never know. Come on.
Back upstairs to the 4th floor where I stay and opened my door, then walked inside and closed my door. But I didn't lock it just yet. I was taking off my dog's leash. Then all of a sudden, a 40-year-old man opened my door. Follow and like for part 2. Part 2 on how a man followed me into my apartment and tried to harm me. Okay, so boom, like I said, I was taking off my dog's leash, and because I left the door unlocked, a 40-year-old man just opened my door. At this point, I was at a distance from the door and closer to my bedroom. My dog started barking, and then I said, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" But I did say it in fear. Then the man took a step in my door and said, "I just want to talk." My door was still slightly open, but...
Boy. Boy. Hello? Stiff arm. Stiff arm.
more closed, and he was fully into my home at this point. He told me to go into my room and be quiet or else he would use his weapon. He had a GUN. I didn't want him to do anything to me, so I listened. But I had hope because I also had my boyfriend's GUN in my room. My boyfriend leaves it there so I can protect myself. I never thought I would have to use it, but I'm glad my boyfriend thought of my safety, regardless of what I said. I walked to my room shaking with him about 10 steps behind me. As soon as I walked in, I grabbed the GUN, turned around, and shot him. Like for part 3 on how a man followed me into my apartment and tried to harm me. Okay, so...
Come on. She did it, come on. She did what she had to do. Clap it up for Big Bro one more time. There are locks for a reason. Don't be surprised if some weirdo opens the door. That's funny.
Boom, like I said, I walked to my room shaking as he was 10 steps behind me. I told my dog to heel because I didn't want this man to harm my dog either. As soon as I walked into my room, I took the GUN and shot him. The man fell to the ground and so did his weapon. I turned on the lights and shot him right in the stomach around here on his side. My neighbors all came out after the shot and we all called the cops. They got there pretty fast. And my boyfriend stayed with me for 3 months every day after that. They did an investigation and looked at the cameras. Turned out that he'd been stalking me the whole time. He knew my habits and planned to get me at the right time. Even if you feel alone, someone can be watching. I'm grateful for my boyfriend for leaving his weapon with me. He has like 3, but...
I'd be so tight to figure out that someone's been watching me and watching my habits. Like, bro, if you do not do something else... Like, my habits are so easily, like, figure-outable. All I do is get up, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, and stream, play games, repeat. That's all I ever do. So, I'm cooked. Well, actually, he couldn't catch me because I'm not going outside anyway. So, like, come on, bro. I don't have the soundboard, so I can't really do anything.
Leaving one with me saved my life. Who knows what would have happened to me had I not shot this man. The shot missed his abdominal muscle, so he lived, but it's going to be a sad life. Like and follow for part 4 to find out what happened. Part 4 on how a man followed me into my apartment and tried to harm me. Okay, so boom, like I said, he knew all my habits and planned to get me at the right time. You never know who's watching you, even if you feel alone. The shot missed his abdominal muscle, so he lived. But it's going to be a sad life. The doctor said that his injury looks like eventually it would
I
lead
don't
to
go
death.
outside for safety
And even if it
sanity
doesn't,
reasons.
he will be very weak and fragile. So he couldn't hurt anyone even if he wanted to. But until then, he will be in jail. So no matter how safe you feel, make sure you are protecting yourself. And don't be like me doing stupid things like leaving your door unlocked. It takes 2 seconds to lock your door, and that could be the difference from life or death. Stay safe, guys, both men and women. Story time on how my sister married our stepdad after our mom.
What is up with these dads and daughters and oh, I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all. I'm so done with y'all. What is up with the what is up with the Stop it, bro. It's never that deep. You can never be this down bad, bro. Please.
Passed away. Okay, so boom. My sister and I are like best friends since we're only 1 year apart. We have the same mom and dad, but my mom divorced our dad after catching him cheating on her. About 5 years later, my mom met our stepdad and got married, and we've been a happy family ever since. So me and my sister started off very close, but our relationship became strained when I noticed my sister and stepdad being way too close. I never caught them doing anything, but their relationship was inappropriate. But it always happened behind me and my mom's back. I only seen them sneak off a couple times when they didn't expect me to come out my room while my mom was at work. But it was only very long hugs and kisses on the cheeks that I seen. Unfortunately, my mom got sick and ended up passing away due to an incurable problem. Me and my mom were super close, and all my mom asked our stepdad to do is take care of us alongside our real dad. Little did we know, like part 2 on how my sister married our stepdad after our mom passed away. Okay, so boom, like I said, my mom got sick with an incurable problem and just asked our stepdad to take care of us alongside our real dad. Then my mom passed away in peace. But little did she or I know the chaos that would come behind her death. By the way, you guys, I'm 16 and my sister is 17. Shortly after our mom passed away, the energy shifted in the house. It was just negative in there, and I just felt it. My sister started sleeping in bed with our stepdad where my mom once laid her head. And of course I knew what was going on in there. Who wouldn't? One day I was so enraged by my sister's actions, especially after our mom passed away, that I barged into their room where I seen balloons, hearts, and roses everywhere. I then saw my sister crying as she happily held her hand up and said, "We're getting married." I got into a screaming match with my sister and how she could do this to our mom, to where she responded, "Mom's not here." It's only been 5 months. Like part
I have no words. How do you deal with the situation?
3 on how my sister married our stepdad after our mom passed away. Okay, so boom, like I said, my sister happily held her hand up and said, "We're getting married." We argued and I told her how could she do this to mom. And she responded, "Mom's not here anymore." It's only been 5 months, guys. I was so angry. I couldn't hold myself back. My sister was older, but I was bigger and taller, and I beat my sister up until our stepdad broke it up. My sister had a huge black eye, and before I left, I spit on my stepdad. I know it's nasty, guys, but you don't understand the level of anger and disrespect I felt for my mom. I called my real dad, and once I explained everything to him, he went inside and grabbed my sister away from our stepdad. The dads went to war, but my real dad ended up winning. And then he called the cops. My stepdad groomed my sister and engaged in unlawful acts with her. He's currently in jail where my sister visits him all the time. My sister is convinced she was not groomed and that they were in love. She even says she'll wait for him. She'll be waiting a long time. I'm just glad that I was able to get justice for...
This story time is how my boyfriend got my sister pregnant. At the time, I just graduated college and I moved into an apartment with my boyfriend.
Bro,
my sister...
you have to understand, I watch these... I have to watch these. You don't have to. You can leave, bro. I don't want you to suffer. I'd appreciate it if you would stay and suffer with me, but I have to watch this, bro. I have the choice. I can't not watch it, bro.
My sister at the time was 2 years younger than me, and she was still in college. But she ended up dropping out because she said school wasn't for her anymore. My parents were upset that they had paid for school and she dropped out in the middle of it. So they kicked her out, and me being the older sister, I let her live with me and my boyfriend until she got back on her feet.
Okay.
My sister was also depressed at the time, but me and my boyfriend would always cheer her up. As weeks went by, she ended up getting a job at Target, and she helped pay for some of the bills towards the apartment. One day when she gets back from work, she comes into my room saying that she wasn't feeling well and just passed out. She wasn't waking up, so I took her to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, they told us that she was pregnant. Part 2 will be up soon. This is part 2 on how my boyfriend got my sister pregnant.
So like I didn't even know what the story was. I didn't even know what the story was called. Yo, why? Yo. After this, I'm doing one more story because I can't do these stories, bro. What are we doing?
My sister passed out and I took her to the hospital, and come to find out she was pregnant. I was happy for her, of course, but she never told me she was seeing anyone. When we got back home, I asked her, "So who the baby daddy?" She jumps and she's just like, some guy from school. I said, "Some guy got you pregnant?" And I bust out laughing. She told me it wasn't funny. Then I asked, "So who is he?" She said, "We don't talk no more," and ran into her room. I let it go, but I noticed something was weird. Couple weeks later, one night my boyfriend leaves our room to go to my sister's. I get up and I listen on to the conversation, and he's basically trying to convince her to get an abortion. So I walk into the room, very upset, and I ask him, why is he trying to convince her to get an abortion? And I notice he's giving her a stack of money. Part 3 of how my boyfriend got my sister pregnant. So I walked into my sister's room, and my boyfriend is handing her a stack of money, telling her she should get an abortion. I start yelling, "What are you doing?" My boyfriend says he's just helping her out. I scream, "Why are you trying to have her get an abortion?" Then my sister interrupts and says, "We need to tell her." She looks at my boyfriend. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? She tells my boyfriend, "We gotta tell her." I'm like, "Tell me what?" My boyfriend says, "Nothing. There's nothing to tell you." My sister just says straight up, the baby is his. I sit there for a second, and then out of nowhere, I just black out. I attacked him until my sister pulled me off. I went to our room. I packed up my things. I took my boyfriend's clothes, put them into a tub, poured bleach on them, grabbed my things, and left. A couple months later, my sister had the baby. It's now been 2 years, and I still haven't spoken to either my sister or my ex-boyfriend. Story time about the most dirtiest college roommate ever.
Nah, I'm done. Hey man, if you enjoyed this video, please, you know what I'm saying, subscribe. Trust me, this is not what we do all the time. Peace.